More than 1 in 4 adults over 65 fall every single year, not because they are lazy, not because they are weak people, and very often, not because they just got old. It happens because leg strength, balance, and reaction time start slipping quietly, little by little, until one bad step changes everything. And here is the part that surprises most people. The problem is not always your knees, not always your back, not even always your bones. Sometimes it is the simple daily loss of leg power that makes standing up, turning around, climbing a step, or getting to the bathroom at night suddenly dangerous. And if you are over 60, you may be doing something wrong right now without even knowing it. You may be resting too much, walking too little, holding on to furniture more than you realize, and avoiding the exact movements that help your legs stay alive, steady, and strong. That is why this matters so much. In Japan, where healthy aging and staying independent are taken very seriously, many older adults do not wait until they feel frail. They practice small, repeatable movements that keep the legs working the way they were designed to work. The Japanese Orthopedic Association has even warned about something called locomotive syndrome. That simply means losing the ability to walk and live normally, because the muscles, bones, joints, and discs no longer support you well enough. The good news is that this decline is not always fixed by harder exercise. Often, it is helped by smarter exercise. The CDC, Mayo Clinic, Johns Hopkins, and Harvard all point in the same direction. Older adults need strength, balance, and regular movement, not just occasional effort, and not just sitting more carefully. If that mission matters to you, subscribe now, because this channel is here to help older adults stay steady, sharp, and independent for as long as possible. And right below this video, tell me your age and where you are watching from. I always love seeing how many people over 60, over 70, even over 80 are taking charge of their health together. The first exercise is one almost every older adult in Japan has seen before, and millions have done for years. It is Radio Taiso, sometimes called Ragio Taiso, the short Japanese movement routine done to music. What makes this so powerful is not that it is intense. It is that it wakes up the whole body at once. Harvard has described it as a brief routine with easy movements like stretching overhead, swinging the arms, twisting, bending, marching in place, and reaching toward the toes. That sounds simple, maybe too simple, but simple is exactly the point. Your body after 60 does not always need punishment. It needs rehearsal. Think of your legs like an old car that has been parked too long. If you slam the gas, something complains. But if you warm the engine, move the joints, and get the fluids flowing, everything works better. Radio Taiso does that for the hips, knees, ankles, and feet. It gently reminds the body, we still bend, we still reach, we still shift weight, we still stand tall. The mistake most people make is believing a warm-up is optional at their age. They get out of bed stiff, move too fast, and expect their first few steps to be safe. That is like asking cold taffy to stretch without snapping. Older muscles and tendons need a few minutes of kindness before they give you their best work. The fix is to create a daily opening routine. It does not have to be perfect. It does not even have to be done with music. You can do gentle arm swings, easy marching, side bends, heel lifts, and slow knee bends near a chair or counter. The goal is not sweating. The goal is telling your nervous system, wake up, we are moving now. Picture a woman named Eleanor, age 68. Every morning, she used to shuffle from bed to coffee, with stiff ankles and a tight lower back. She thought that feeling was normal aging. Then she started doing a short standing movement routine before breakfast. Nothing fancy. Just reaching, marching, and shifting weight. Within a few weeks, she noticed her first steps of the day felt less shaky. Not miraculous, just steadier. Sometimes steady is the miracle. And I want to ask you something. Do you think most doctors talk enough about movement routines this simple? Or do they wait until someone has already fallen? Tell me in the comments, because I know this one will split people right down the middle. The second exercise is the chair rise, also called sit to stand. This may be the most honest leg test in your house. You do not need a gym machine to find out if your legs are strong. Your chair tells the truth. Every time you stand up from the toilet, the couch, the dining chair, or the side of the bed, your thighs, hips, core, and balance system all have to work together. Johns Hopkins highlights sit to stand because it builds leg strength and improves balance and body mechanics. In plain English, It helps you stand up more safely and sit down with more control. Why is this such a big deal? Because your thighs and hips are your body's shock absorbers and engines. When they weaken, your knees take more stress, your steps get shorter, your posture folds forward, and you start using your hands for everything. It is like trying to get out of a deep sofa with half the springs missing. The body can still do it, but it does it with struggle, momentum, and risk. The common mistake is thinking, I walk, so my legs must be strong. Walking is wonderful, but walking alone does not always keep the stand-up muscles strong enough. Standing up from a chair requires pushing force. That force fades when you avoid low seats, use armrests every time, or sit for long hours. The fix is wonderfully practical. Practice controlled chair rises from a sturdy chair, with support nearby if needed. Lean forward a little from the hips, press through your feet, and stand up without jerking. Then sit back down slowly. Even if you need your hands at first, that is okay. The goal is not pride. The goal is progress. Imagine your body like a rocket launch. If the countdown is smooth, liftoff is smooth. If you lurch, twist, or yank with your arms, the launch is unstable. A good chair rise teaches your body a cleaner launch pattern. I remember a man I once pictured for this kind of training, George, age 73. His fear was not exercise. His fear was embarrassment. He hated visiting friends because their low couches made him feel old. He would rock forward 2 or 3 times just to get up. After practicing supported chair rises at home, he started noticing something important. He needed less momentum, less rocking, less panic. That is how independence returns sometimes, quietly. The third exercise is the one-leg stand, and this is not just a trendy balance challenge from the internet. The Japanese Orthopedic Association specifically includes one-leg standing in its mobility training to help older adults improve balance. Balance is one of those things many people ignore until they lose it. But balance is not luck. It is a skill. And that skill depends on 3 systems, talking to each other all day long. Your eyes tell you where you are. Your inner ear tells you how you are moving. And the nerves in your feet and legs tell your brain how your body is positioned. If one of those signals gets fuzzy, your balance gets fuzzy too. Think of it like a 3-legged stool. If one leg of the stool weakens, the whole seat starts wobbling. That is why you can have strong legs and still feel unsteady. Strength matters, yes, but your brain also needs practice reading your body in space. The mistake many people make is grabbing support before they truly need it. They lean on carts, counters, walls, and tabletops all day. Again, I am not saying never use support. Safety comes first. But if your body never has to balance even briefly, it slowly forgets how. The fix is to practice standing on one leg near a stable surface, just long enough to challenge the system safely. You are teaching the ankle, calf, hip, and brain to communicate faster. The standing leg becomes the trunk of a tree. The small muscles around the ankle become roots searching the ground. And your brain becomes the gardener, making tiny corrections before you even notice them. Most people think balance loss is just aging. That is not the full story. Some of it is disuse. If you stop challenging balance, balance stops showing up for you. Here is a relatable moment. You are putting on pants. You lift one foot. Suddenly you wobble and grab the dresser. That one moment tells you a lot. Daily life is full of little one-leg situations. Stepping over a curb. Reaching for something in the kitchen. Turning in the bathroom. Climbing into a car. One-leg standing trains for all of them. And here is a debate for the comments. Do you think fear of falling causes more weakness, or does weakness cause more fear of falling? I think those two feed each other like a loop, but I want to hear what you think. The fourth exercise is the squat. And before you say, no, not at my age, stay with me. I am not talking about deep, aggressive, gym-style squats. I am talking about the kind of controlled knee bend that the Japanese Orthopedic Association includes to strengthen the legs for everyday life. Squats matter because they train the exact pattern you use constantly. Sitting down, standing up, lowering yourself, picking something up, getting into a car, using the toilet, reaching a low shelf. If your body loses that pattern, daily life becomes a string of awkward negotiations. Here is the surprising part. Many people blame their knees for everything, when the real problem is often weak hips and thighs, making the knees do work they were never meant to do alone. Your glutes, That means the muscles of your buttocks and your thighs should share the load. When they do not, the knees become overworked middle managers, dealing with everyone else's unfinished job. Picture a squat like lowering an elevator. A good elevator goes down smoothly and comes back up on track. A bad elevator jerks, leans, and feels unsafe. Controlled squats teach your body to use the big muscles, not just dump pressure forward. The mistake is going too fast, too deep, or skipping the movement completely because of fear. Some people stop bending their knees because they think rest protects them. But too much avoidance often leads to even more weakness, which makes simple life tasks feel harder. The fix is a gentle, supported squat pattern. Hold a counter or sturdy surface if needed. Let the hips move back. Keep the movement small and comfortable. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are trying to remind your body how to lower and rise with control. One woman, Dorothy, age 76, told a story that so many older adults would understand. Her biggest fear was not walking outside. It was sitting on a low public toilet and wondering if she could stand back up without help. That fear made her avoid travel, family events, even long car rides. After practicing safe squat patterns and chair rises for a while, she did not become a fitness model. She became something better. She became less afraid. That matters, because strong legs are not about vanity after 60. They are about freedom. The fifth exercise is the heel raise. It looks tiny. It feels tiny. And that is exactly why people underestimate it. A heel raise means lifting your heels so you rise onto the balls of your feet. The Japanese mobility pamphlet adds heel raises as a way to strengthen the calf muscles. Those calf muscles are more important than most people realize. They help push you forward when you walk. They help steady you when you sway. And they help your blood move back upward from the lower legs, almost like a second pump working below the heart. Think of your calves as the springs and pumps in the back of your legs. When those springs weaken, your push-off gets smaller. Your steps become flatter. You may start shuffling instead of rolling through the foot. That may not sound dramatic, but small changes in push-off can change the whole walking pattern. The mistake is focusing only on the front of the legs, or only on the knees. Many people never train the lower part of the leg at all. Then they wonder why they feel unstable on stairs, weak when they try to walk faster, or wobbly when reaching up for something. The fix is simple. Practice rising through the feet while holding a counter or chair for safety. Go slowly up, and even more slowly down. That slow lowering is where control grows. It tells the ankles and calves, do not collapse, stay with me. Imagine a lamp with a shaky base. The bulb may be fine, the shade may be fine, but if the base is unstable, the whole lamp trembles. Your feet and ankles are that base. Heel raises help reinforce it. Now think about a normal moment at home. You reach for a mug on a higher shelf. What happens? Your body rises. Your ankles adjust. Your calves tighten. If that chain is weak, the reach feels risky. If that chain is trained, the reach feels ordinary. Ordinary is the goal. And here is another comment question. Some people swear by walking alone for leg strength. Others say you need specific strength moves, like chair rises and heel raises. Which side are you on, and why? I am curious to see the debate. The sixth exercise is the forward step or lunge pattern. Again, do not let the word scare you. This does not have to be deep or dramatic. In Japanese lower body training, a forward stepping motion is often used to build flexibility, balance, and strength together. Why is stepping so valuable? Because life is not lived in place. You are constantly reaching, stepping over, stepping around, stepping up, stepping back. A lunge pattern teaches your body how to absorb weight when one foot moves ahead of the other. That matters for curbs, stairs, uneven sidewalks, garden paths, and crowded rooms. Here is the simple body explanation. When you take a step, your body is briefly catching itself. One leg accepts the load while the other moves. If your hips are weak, your stride shortens. If your balance is shaky, you start taking cautious, choppy little steps. That often feels safer, but sometimes it actually makes movement less stable, not more. Think of stepping like catching a rolling cart. If you grab it early and steadily, it settles. If you wait too long and then snatch at it, things wobble. Your front leg in a step is doing that steady catch. The mistake most people make is moving only straight up and down all day. They sit, they stand, they sit again. But life asks for much more than that. It asks for forward control, side control, turning control. That is why someone can feel okay getting out of a chair, yet still feel nervous stepping off a curb. The fix is to practice a gentle supported step forward and back, holding a counter or wall if needed. Keep the movement small. Let the front leg take some weight, then push back. You are training deceleration. That means slowing the body safely. And that may be one of the most underrated skills in aging. Let me introduce Margaret, age 71. She did not think her legs were that bad. She could walk through the grocery store just fine. But every time she saw a curb or a bus step, her stomach tightened. Her fear was falling in public. Not because she was weak in every way, but because her body did not trust the forward shift. Once she started practicing supported stepping movements, that exact part of life became less threatening. Not perfect. Better. Better is huge. The seventh exercise is mindful walking, especially heel-to-toe walking or deliberate marching-style walking. This may sound almost too basic to mention, but please do not skip it. The CDC includes balance activities like heel-to-toe walking and standing from a sitting position for older adults, and Mayo Clinic also points to walking as an important part of balance support. Walking is not just cardio. It is coordination, it is rhythm, it is reaction, it is one controlled fall after another, caught in time by your legs. When you walk with attention, lifting the feet, rolling through the step, and keeping the posture tall, you teach your body to move with organization instead of drift. The mistake is assuming all walking is equal. It is not. Shuffling from room to room while bent forward and distracted is not the same as intentional walking. One feeds confidence. The other can quietly feed decline. Here is an image that helps. Imagine your walking pattern like handwriting. When you stop practicing, the letters get messier. They are still readable, but less smooth, less precise. Mindful walking cleans up the handwriting of movement. The fix can be wonderfully simple. Walk with purpose indoors or outdoors. Practice short stretches where you place one foot carefully, then the next. Feel the heel touch, then the rest of the foot. Or practice steady marching in place if walking space is limited. If safe for you, a narrow path walk with support nearby can challenge balance in a useful way. Again, not to prove anything, to preserve something. Most people think walking trouble begins at the hips or knees, but sometimes it begins in attention. You stop lifting your feet, you stop turning fully. You rush when tired. You look down too much. You move like someone apologizing to the floor. Mindful walking helps restore a stronger message. I know where my body is. I know where I am going. Now I want to pause and pull all of this together with one realistic story, because this is where many viewers start seeing themselves. Her name is Lorraine. She is 74. She lives alone, still drives, still cooks, still wants to keep her own home for as long as possible. But over the last year, something changed. She started planning her day around avoiding risk. She used the downstairs bathroom only. She stopped carrying laundry with confidence. She held the banister tighter. She sat down to put on pants. She began telling herself, I'm just being careful. And yes, some caution was wise, but some of it was fear quietly shrinking her life. What scared Lorraine most was not pain. It was dependence. She had watched her older sister lose confidence after one fall, and she did not want the same future. She did not need a miracle. She needed proof that her body could still learn. So she started very small. A short morning movement routine, similar to Radio Taiso. Chair rises from a sturdy seat. Supported one leg standing while holding the kitchen counter. Gentle squat practice. Heel raises while waiting for the kettle. Small forward steps and controlled step backs. More deliberate walking through the hallway instead of shuffling. At first, nothing felt dramatic. That is important to understand. Health after 60 often improves like sunrise, not like fireworks. You do not always notice the change in one big flash. You notice that you stand up without bracing. You notice you turn more smoothly. You notice you get out of the car with less hesitation. You notice the fear volume has been turned down. After some time, Lorraine told herself something she had not felt in months. I trust my legs a little more. That is the honest, hopeful outcome we should be aiming for. Not fantasy, not reversal of all aging. More trust, more control, more independence. And if you are still watching, put the word strong in the comments. Just that one word, strong. It helps me know who is here to fight for their mobility and who wants more videos like this. There is also something deeper going on in all 7 of these exercises. They are not just building muscle, They are teaching the brain. Every supported balance hold, every controlled stand, every careful step is a message from your body to your nervous system. It says, remember this pattern, save it, use it later. That matters, because aging is not only about tissue loss, it is also about signal loss. The timing gets duller, the corrections get slower, the body forgets how to respond quickly. These exercises are like rehearsals before the emergency. They help you practice balance before you trip, practice rising before the seat is too low, practice stepping before the curb surprises you. And this is why the Japanese approach is so smart. It is woven into ordinary life. Not always a separate workout, not always a special outfit, just repeated reminders to the body that movement still matters, that the legs are still needed, that balance is still trainable. Let's do a fast recap, because repetition helps memory, especially when you want to actually use what you heard. First, the short Japanese-style whole-body warm-up, like Radio Taiso. That wakes up stiff joints, activates the hips, knees, and ankles, and helps your first steps of the day feel safer. Second, chair rises. This is real-life leg strength. Standing up and sitting down with control keeps daily life practical and protects independence. Third, one leg standing. That trains balance, ankle control, and body awareness. It helps in all those moments when life briefly puts you on one foot. Fourth, supported squats. These strengthen the thighs and hips, so the knees are not doing all the work alone. They also train the exact pattern used in sitting, standing, and lowering yourself safely. Fifth, heel raises. Tiny move, big payoff. Stronger calves mean better push-off, better ankle stability, and better support for everyday walking. Sixth, the gentle forward step or lunge pattern. That teaches the body to accept weight, control momentum, and move more confidently through the world. Seventh, mindful walking or heel-to-toe style walking. This sharpens coordination, posture, and step quality, so you are not just moving more, you are moving better. Now here is the truth many people need to hear. You do not need to do these perfectly to benefit. You do not need to become athletic. You do not need to compare yourself to anyone younger. You need consistency more than intensity. You need safety more than ego. And you need to stop telling yourself that every decline is simply the price of birthdays. Some of it is, but not all of it. At the same time, please be wise. Talk to your doctor before making major changes, especially if you take medication, have a diagnosed condition, have severe pain, dizziness, numbness, heart issues, or a history of falls. Natural does not always mean risk-free. Even simple movement can need supervision if your balance is already poor. And this video is for educational purposes only. But if there is one message I want to leave with you, it is this. Your legs do not usually disappear overnight. They fade by neglect, by fear, by long sitting, by small avoidances repeated for years. And they often come back the same way, little by little, through use. Through practice, through confidence, rebuilt one safe movement at a time. So subscribe, if you believe older adults deserve clear, honest health guidance, without hype, because every new subscriber helps this channel reach more people who may be one fall, one fear, or one bad year away from losing confidence in their bodies. And before you go, tell me in the comments which of these 7 exercises you are most likely to start with first. The warm-up, the chair rise, the one-leg stand. I read those comments, and they help shape what we make next. And if you want to keep your body steady from the ground up, watch the next video, because I'm going to show you the overlooked foot and ankle mistakes after 60 that